Today, Al Moria would like me to share a little about one of our senses that we don't talk about often, and that is the sense of smell, and the importance of our nose, our nasal cavities, and our lungs, our breathing apparatus, and some of the cavities within our head that are essential to our sense of smell, odors, aromas, and the divine quintessences that also may be ours as part of our spiritual path. As a whole, man's sense of smell has become desensitized in many ways from what it could be and was in its pristine state, due to the pollution of the atmosphere, the pollution of our body temples, and ingesting toxins into our system that compromise this very important orifice of light that can assist us in a type of discernment that is essential to our spiritual journey. When we smell our food, we can know whether it is good for us. And in fact, taste is directly related to our sense of smell. As I understand it, if you hold your nose, your sense of taste will virtually be nullified because taste and smell go hand in hand. So the mouth is connected to the nose through the various passages that we have, and yogis in the East actually have techniques where they can purify their nasal passages in ways that I won't demonstrate today. Some of you may have seen them using kind of a string or a fabric that you can actually put all the way through your nasal passages. And it's interesting to note how important the cleanliness of these passages are to our breathing, our intake of prana, our ingestion of greater spiritual fire and light. So one of the things that compromises our sense of smell is a diet heavy in fat, and especially in animal fats and in milk products. And I've noticed people that have a constant nasal sound to their speech patterns because they ingest a lot of dairy products. And you may note these people also. And often they will have allergies that arise because something in their system does not accommodate these substances within their diet, and therefore they have this constant nasal drip or clogging of the nasal passages, and these people are not able to discern with the sense of smell some of the more refined aromas and divine odors. Now, during various heart streams, some of you having a heightened sense of smell can actually discern the aromas that the masters exude during their heart streams, such as rose, especially, and other divine, what I would call flavors of the Spirit. The masters exude these as a grace and a blessing because within the aroma are particles of concentrated solar and pranic light that when we ingest them through our nasal passages, through our nose, they do go and enter into our blood through the oxygenation of the blood, and they have a beautiful and powerful effect on our blood. They can actually help to purify the blood. And those of you who have used essential oils know this. You know the healing properties of these oils and their scents. These scents are very important for our body elemental, because our body elemental is very keen and aware of spirituality and the natural state of our true being. And when we take in these divine aromas, it can purify the subtle bodies of our being, even beyond the physical plane. It helps to energize and activate the higher nerve centers, and to even put up a protective layer, a guarding action of light, to ward off entities, discarnate beings, and lesser manifestations of darkness that could accost us or come into our auric field if we are not wary and alert. So in the churches of old, and even today, frankincense is burned. When we traveled to Taiwan, there was a particular temple we went to, I believe it was a Taoist temple, where incense was continuously burned. And people would actually take the incense sticks and put them around their head and around their whole body. And there was a practitioner who would actually do this also on their behalf. Well, this is a clearing action of light to assist the individuals in purification and in warding off discarnates and entities. You've heard of smudging, many of you, and what the Native Americans did with sage, where you take sage and you bundle it very tightly, and then you light it with a match or a fire, and the dried sage burns and emits a fragrance that entities and demons do not like, and therefore they flee. There are other incenses that are very powerful, and you can discern through testing on your own, in your home, the use of various of these incenses, such as rose, frankincense, even myrrh. Myrrh is not really an incense per se, and yet I believe that you can actually have that aroma. So there are a number of these scents that have been concentrated by individuals that gather the aromatic herbs and plants that allow this clearance action to occur when the incense is burned. Now, when we become more sensitive as we engage in pranic breathing, we can begin to discern certain divine quintessences from the etheric plane. And when you meditate upon a particular master or cosmic being, or even angel devas and nature spirits, you can discern through your heightened sense of smell these sacred aromas that are emitted by these beings, and you can actually discern which master or being may be present with you, or a type of elemental being, or a type of deva, especially when you're out in nature. And it would be to our benefit, all of us, to learn the various scents and aromas of flowers, flowering plants, and plants in general, because these aromas, each one very specific in the frequency that it exudes, can benefit our health and vitality and well-being at a very particular causative point that can, in some cases, ward off disease and heal various diseases. So when the science of aroma and the higher understandings of these incenses and essential oils is understood, practitioners can do much in the way of assisting life streams in maintaining balance, harmony, and wholeness in their lives. There are a number of different companies that produce essential oils. The Ascended Masters advocate organic and pristine oils in this way. Some can be fairly expensive when you have to have the gathering of these plants in a way that allows for the purest essence to come forth and be concentrated in a little vial or a bottle. And, for instance, rose, when it's taken from organic roses, may take many, many rose petals, properly attended to and using distilled water to receive the fragrance from the petals, to allow the purest essence of that volatile essential oil to come forth and to be extracted. So in ancient times, this science was known, and oils and fragrances were considered, along with herbs and other plants, to be very, very both sacred and expensive. And spices are another aspect of this. And you've heard of Marco Polo, an embodiment of Mark Prophet, going to the east, to China, along the way that he traveled, and there was a lot of trading in spices and oils and a lot of these sacred formulations, mixing them together in various combinations. So I believe that for the advocates of the spirit and the people who are moving into their adeptship, it's essential to have a basic understanding of some of the effects of and the properties of these various plants and flowers and scents and aromas and essential oils, so that you can know and discern at various times what is required for an accident or a situation, so that you can be of service in ministration to others and to yourself. Mona and I, and probably a few others of you, receive regular foot zone balance treatments, and essential oils are used during these treatments. And at the end of the treatment that we receive is a kind of a massage of an essential oil into the skin of the feet. And this is very balancing, it's very harmonizing, it's very comforting, and it really helps the body elemental to have what it requires through drawing up through the feet into all of the organs and systems of the body, what is essential for maintaining this health and vitality. So we know that the feet, there are points on the feet that relate to all the organs and systems of the body, and when you touch them appropriately, they trigger the release of energetic frequencies that can move through the electronic body to assist in harmonizing and balancing all within the body temple. And the adding of the particular essential oils tea tree, wintergreen, pine, etc., rose, and many others, can work toward both the beautification of the internal body temple and also to, in effect, anoint all of the organs internally from within using this sacred science. So there's much more that could be said. El Morya and the three wise men were all advocates of these sciences, understood them as adepts, as magi, and we know that the magi brought to the Christ child myrrh, frankincense, and gold. And even gold has an aroma. We may not think of it, but the sensitive ones can actually discern the living, vital, energetic aroma of gold and its wisdom from the sun that's locked into the metal, the very pliable metal that is very valuable and can assist us in many ways. So with this understanding, let us move through life, always discerning the truth through our sense of smell and the intake of holy aromas and odors of light, which can benefit our souls, our spirits, and our spiritual path. Thank you.